All right. Good morning. This is Esther Lawson with God's Grace Garden, and today we're going to look at the compost tea that I'm brewing. Now, one here is aerated, and even though this one is steeped, it seemed to have some air bubbles in there. I don't know how that happened, but it has some air bubbles. I didn't put any aerators or pumps or anything in there. I just let it just steep overnight. And basically what I used to steep this with is the stuff that I used to aerate this. I aerated it for about 6 to 7 hours, and then I took the contents out, and I'm just letting it produce more and more microbes, let them multiply on their own, so that it doesn't get anaerobic or stinking or anything like that, any bad microbes or bacteria in there. So neither one of them smells bad, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this steep compost tea on the trees that I have in the front of the house. As you see, I use basically the stuff that people use for wedding gowns and stuff. I purchased some of the fabric online, and I'm using it as something to actually hold the contents of my compost tea mixtures in. And this is my little compost tea area, and since then I have all kinds of wild strawberries growing, so I think I should take it easy on spilling stuff up here unless I want to have a whole, wild garden growing up here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the tree that has the crab apples. Now last year this tree had absolutely, it did have a few crab apples on it, but nothing like how it has now. I mean, it's over about 400 crab apples on this tree. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Alright, this is the crab apple tree, and in order to get a good look at it, I'm actually have to be in the road a little bit, because this thing is hanging over the road almost. It's definitely over the fence for sure. And as you see, this tree is loaded with crab apples. And this is just from this view. I don't know if you can see there. Look at the tip top. We got like leggy crab apples just growing all over the place. And this is just from maybe 2 or 3 applications of the compost tea. I'll go around the other end so that you can see, but this is unbelievable because last year nothing like this was on here, but this is just from adding compost tea to the roots of this tree, and it's just taken off. And I put a little bit on the flowers too, but not like I did on this one. I just wanted to see what would happen, and as you see, the limbs have gone up to the power line, so I'm gonna have to see what I'm gonna do about that, because that can't stay there. But they're getting big there. I don't know what the potential of crab apples are. I never really had any desire to really, eat them. But this is my mom's tree at her house. Look, the crab apples are actually growing into my neighbor's yard and everything. So we're gonna have to prune this tree down. I mean, it's unbelievable how it's been growing this year. It's actually starting to grow into the other tree. So you can't tell where one tree begins and where the other one ends, because this crabapple tree has just flourished beyond belief. I cannot believe it myself. When about 2 weeks ago when I was looking at it, I was like, seems like the crabapple tree is growing, and just out of nowhere, poof, it's loaded with crab apples. So I think the compost tea seems to be working. What I plan on doing is testing this tree out here to see if I can get any type of growth out of it. Basically, the dogs come and they pee on this tree. This is one of their little markers. They love marking this tree. So we're gonna put some compost tea on this tree here and see what happens with this. Alright, once again, this is Esther Lawson with God's Grace Garden, and we'll see you next time.